Hey, it's Aiden at Aiden's Enchanted Tree Home. I finally figured out how to change the name of my channel and leave my handle alone. Yay! Welcome to my holiday vlog. I will be showing you some things that I got that were very unexpected and some gifts that I received that just came out of the blue, things that I am truly grateful for. And I also want to give time to reflect on this year and show you a little bit about my planner. I will be extending some of these topics because it's just too hard to put them all in one video. The first thing that was very unexpected and just truly a surprise, it may not be as exciting to you as it is to me, but it means the world to me. It is this jacket. I ended up with this one for $7 at Nordstrom's Rack. It was the last in its size, which is probably, and the color, which is probably why I got a deal. That sometimes happens to me, and I try to remind myself that my size does sometimes benefit me. This is so warm, and I don't have any casual jackets, and a lot of my family are pretty casual. And although I do try to allow myself to dress up and make peace with that, I'm gonna probably look a little insane to them and I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb and look like I'm attention seeking, but I'm not. I just like dressing nice. I also once in a while want to be comfortable, and this idea of always having to wear cotton and natural things has been pushed on me, but I also care about the environment. And so this is the first item that I've really decided to ignore that. And I'm slowly getting in touch with my heart and trying to balance out what I believe in with what I really need and want. And sometimes that's hard. So I do try to look for recycled fabric and things like that. This next one is my second casual jacket. This one came as such a surprise. I found it walking out the door. Oh my God, it's perfect. And yes, I said, oh my God, old habits, don't care. That's what happens when I get excited. And that's another thing that I'm trying to not get on myself about. Old habits are starting to come back in my life, which is why I did not keep some of the film from the original vlog, by the way. The only thing with this is I wish the pockets were a little bigger, but you can stick your hand in there, which is nice. Only thing bad about this is my cousin has the same one. And we act more as friends. And I kind of didn't want to match her, but I guess I'm going to have to live with that. That was probably the best color on me. That was $40. Originally it was $189, and I believe it was $200 before that. It's Nordstrom's Rack. What do you want? I am just so super grateful for that. Okay, the next item that I'm really, really excited about is my boots. I went looking for a pair of boots that could go over my pants because I not only have wide-legged pants, but I have skinny jeans, straight-leg jeans, and all of my boots are made to wear like thigh highs or knee highs with shorts or a skirt, something like that. So I found these. One thing that I'm doing this year is I am refusing to apologize for anything, and I am going back to the person that I am, regardless of whether it conflicts even with my magical practice, heathenry, my path. Like, I have a habit of writing oh my gods, but when I was making the other video I realized that's the first time I've said that out loud, and it felt weird to me. I think I'm just going through a period of nostalgia too, and just integrating some of those old roots of myself. These are so warm. They are lined with leather, so they're a little hard to grip when you put them on. They don't have like a loop. I forget what they call that. They should have, I wish they would have sewn one in on the inside. You could probably tuck that in so you don't see it, but that's okay. These are still fabulous. These cost the same amount as if I were to get a pair of desert boots or something really simple that probably wouldn't last very long. So I thought, why not? Just get them. Mom got me a huge tin of popcorn. And when I mean huge, I mean like family size, really huge. It says you've been elfed, which is cute. And she thought she was getting it for me, but I wanted it for the whole family so we can enjoy movies together and eat popcorn. Well, that's happening this year. Even my father is really enjoying it. It's already like half gone. I would bring it up here or film it, but it's really huge to move. It's getting lighter though. And it came with this habanero seasoned popcorn. It does taste like there's a little bit of cheddar in there, but there might be a label on it that says cheddar or not cheddar. I don't know. Can't quite read the sides of that. But this is really good. I've already been eating some of it. And since this was for free, my mom included that in my gift. So I say that this popcorn was for me because no one else will eat spicy food in my house. My mom will a little bit, but even she was like, no, that's all yours. And it's really hot, but it's so good. So the next two are a tie. Look at this. I finally got my religious path spirituality pendant, the one pendant to rule them all kind of thing. This was supposed to be a stacking pendant to go with my other necklaces, including my A pendant. And I don't know if I can now because I didn't realize that it was measured from pendant to chain, so the pendant would hang a certain way instead of just the chain. So the length is a little off. I did measure my neck, so I'm not sure what happened, but it is exactly where I like to wear my necklaces. So I am really, really happy with it. It is not pagan whatsoever, but I like the simplicity of this. When I think about moose, reindeer, deer in general, the stag, it just brings me into a place of thinking about the divine, something that is reaching for knowledge, wisdom. I think of traveling between the two worlds. It just brings me to everything. And even though cats are very much a part of my life, they don't do the same thing for me as a antlered creature would, or an animal with antlers. I'm not quite sure why. So I think this is just going to be perfect for absolutely everything. Look at it! Look at it! This is the ultimate gift for a cat-loving witch, especially one that just lost her baby. I hate to say it, but I kind of love this more than I did my baby, which sounds really screwed up. But I'll tell you why. Where has this thing been all my life? My cousin got my family this. I use it the most, but in the very beginning we were all fighting over it and it was really funny. I mean, you can kind of pose it a little bit. It's got herbs in it. You can stick it in the microwave and warm it up. And of course there's rice in it. I believe it's got lavender and I don't know, probably chamomile. And I forget what the other herb is. Something like rosemary, I don't remember. It smells so good. And it's the type of lavender that I can actually have, which for some reason, English lavender bothers me. And even beyond English and French, there's different types of strains of lavender. And I learned from a tea company that the type that they use for fragrance is usually different than the type that is food grade. So that was a big like, aha, now I kind of know. And I'm learning to tell the difference. I can stick it on my shoulder, and I've been doing that. And I've been walking around, and it's terrible. It looks just like Abby when it's sleeping. And so we were all laughing. I was walking around singing it, going, I love you, kitty. And my mom's like, stop, stop. You know, he's passed, right? And I'm like, I know. But she has even walked in the room and swore that this looks just like Avi. It's really funny. Just the tail and everything, the big paws. I cannot say enough about this. During a time when I am extremely lonely and have lost so much, this just meant a whole lot to me. It's so weighted. It really does. It probably weighs maybe a little less than Avi, but it feels real. It's so weird. I'm babbling and I hope it's actually making sense, but I'm letting myself show you my authentic self because this is my excitement. This is pretty hard to beat. So if you ever want to know what to get a witch, this would be a good thing. There's also a puppy, by the way. And I don't know if there was different colored cats, but I know I've seen the puppy before. So I don't know where she found this one because this one was... I've never seen a black cat. I usually see like white or orange. Anyway, enough about that. Getting to the planner. So I played. I didn't worry about time or anything. I just took out my planner and I started playing with it, putting stickers all over. And I tried to film it and it was not my day. So, oh well, right? I will try to do that in the future, but it could be that I just do my art best alone. So here's how I decorated the front part of it. I wanted to decorate the folders because I thought that would be much cuter, especially because I'm going to use them. This old kitty sticker is going to be my guardian because I've been called by Kat to work on my abundance. And then this guitar sticker because why not? I love music and it was so random. I don't even know where I got this from. And then all of my stickers are in here. Okay. So my friend, my very good friend, unfortunately, I don't talk to her much anymore. She sent me a Christmas card. She sent me this. And she was a big collector. So she's like, okay, this is a sticker from the last Unicorn movie. You wouldn't know that. Use it well. This is my good sticker. And I was like, damn, I'm not even a fan and you would give me your best sticker. And she's like, I couldn't find a sticker that suited you. So I kind of debated on whether I should use it or not because it's too big to go on the edge of the folder. And I could put it inside of here or on the cover. It's good enough that it would cover the letters if I wanted to reuse this. And this is the year of the horse. And like, oh my gosh, the synchronicities. There's 2 of them. I mean, you can't get much cooler than that. And then I found a whole bunch of other stickers that I have not seen since high school. So I've got hearts, I've got emojis, and more little hearts. I have bigger ones. And then I've got these are from when I was little. They used to have my name on them. And I found a whole bunch of tarot cards. I found a whole bunch of, where is it? Yes, tarot card stickers. I don't have them in here. Some of them are funny because they're tarot cards that were probably better suited for last year. So I'm really enjoying that. This year's card, which I'm sorry I didn't let you see the reading, is strength. No, I'm tired of having strength. No. But I love this interpretation of strength because if you look at the cat, this is my Rule the World Cat's Tarot. At first it looks like it's trying to hold down the mouse out of desperation, but when I looked at it closer, I'm like, no, cats are funny. They just kind of play with their food. So it's just kind of like, I could let you go, but I'm not going to. And you're staying right here because I said so. And that's kind of the energy that I want for the strength card. If I'm thinking about the mouse as my goal, that's a very good energy to inspire me to strive for this year, instead of strength being I must push, I must pull through. So I like that a lot better. I did not decorate the back part yet because, as I said, I couldn't think of anything to go here. And I didn't do anything. Oh, yes, I did. I found this Welcome Friends sticker, and I really liked it on the edge of the folder. So I might add more as I go along, which is just fine. I want to show you my goals. Okay, my list of goals. I can only let you see some of it because some of them are really personal. This is definitely going to be my all-purpose planner because there's plenty of room for witchcraft stuff, whatever, magical stuff, and my actual daily goals. So I've got some financial goals in here to continue to build. I've built a lot so far. I'm very pleased with that. I have enough in here that I think if I stick to budget, I can slowly make these goals happen, but I can still save, which I'm really, really happy about. So some of these goals are just adding more balance to my life, more movement. I want to work out. I want to shoot hoops again. I want to hike, but for a while I was training myself to do 5 miles a day. And I was doing that because that's required for a basic hiking group that are really serious. And I understand why they want to be serious, but I took it too seriously. And my cousin was not consistent enough. And it was a reminder to enjoy my time in nature. Especially because sometimes I like to meditate in nature or just sit in nature. It's very healing. I think even more so than being at an altar. I also want to finish up my room. My room is a disaster area. After the carpets got replaced, just things are put back together, but my walls need to be painted. My bathroom, I think, is finally workable, but I may have some problems with it, and that may need to be redone. I need new furniture. Things are falling apart. So I'm going with the bare minimum for that. My tech situation needs to be changed because I'm so far behind. I cannot use the internet. I can only use it with my phone. And I think that's all. I don't think I need a new computer. But to update my computer, I would almost need a basic general computer that has some gaming capacity. And I found out you can buy the same computer that I have with a disk drive refurbished for a lot less than I was expecting. So I think I'm going to do that. That needs to happen, I think, next month. Yeah, next month, because I need to build up enough funds for that because I still want to continue to save. I also want to start using my stickers, crafting again, enjoying my supplies. I had this time where I just literally went through my sticker book and looked at my stickers. I didn't even do anything with them because I haven't looked at them in so long, and I thought, this is silly. Enjoy your stickers. And then this bottom part is stuff that I looked up. I'm not sure if it's a decent resource or a new age resource, so I do apologize. This is stuff on the Chinese zodiac sign and going into more detail on the numbers and some of the things to watch for the new year. And I find it interesting that a lot of these things are what I intuitively feel about this year. Apparently, this is supposed to be a good year for me romantically, and I'm like, no, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't let it distract you. So I put it down, but I'm trying to really focus on the fact that this year is supposed to be really good for career opportunities. It's also a fire year, and I am a fire rabbit. And horse and rabbit are not supposed to get along, so this year may have challenges, and there may be a lot of fiery energy. But I also see a lot of opportunities too. I am already having trouble calming down. That's why I had to do this video again. There's already things happening, which I will get into. These are just some resources that I wrote down, including where I got the Chinese zodiac stuff from. If anyone has a really good, reliable resource, I would love to hear about it. My grandmother used to celebrate all of the Chinese traditions, and that's something that I would like to do with her as an ancestor or as someone that has passed. Let's see. Oh, I'm really proud of this one. Yes, you have to look at this because this is awesome. It's so neat. I think I might upgrade my crafting stuff with some washi tape. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I think I will now because it would go great here just to make reading each section easier. And I thought I had to go to a specialty store for it, but apparently I do not. I'm starting to see it in other places, and that makes me very happy. So I drew the rune. I really liked Aries Witchcraft's video on the rune Ehwaz. And Ehwaz, there we go. I didn't say that clearly enough. Anyway, Odin's horse, aid, movement, guidance. I wouldn't really say friendship, but a companion is probably more accurate. And that is really interesting from last year's rune, Hagalaz. It was last year's rune because I ended up with the Hagalaz runestone soap. And I finished it, by the way, and it actually feels really good. And I've developed a very deep relationship with that rune, which is funny because when I got the soap, I was replacing another one, and I thought, no, it's going to be freaking Isa or Hagalaz, and sure enough, it was. And now I see, well, I'm starting to see the beauty of that rune, and I want to go back to this and reflect on this further. A lot of people have a lot of strong opinions on which god is in charge of which Ayat. This upcoming Ayat that Ehwaz belongs to is supposed to be Tears. And I think that's pretty interesting because we could use a year of justice. I think it's really interesting to think about those two as sort of integrating. To me, since Manaz is part of that bottom Ayat, it makes more sense to say the realm of man. And when we get into the realm of man, I think about integrating all of that knowledge up here with what's down here. This deck, which I do apologize to you, I'm going to go and correct that in the other video. I could not remember the name of it. I'm always messing it up. So it is Spirit of Nature, Wisdom of the Green Man. It's got such a long name. I just call it my tree deck. I've had this forever. I've tried to get rid of it. And I was like, no, you're keeping me. It's never been sold. It's a first edition, so it's supposed to be worth a lot. And I can't sell it. And then I wanted to give it away to somebody that would really enjoy it. And that did not happen. For some reason, it was like, no, you're staying with me. And just like in my other video, which is probably going to be the short for this one, I started to really have some revelations of how to navigate this deck. I spoke to this deck. I'm really happy with the relationship that I'm building with this deck. So this is going to be the deck that I use for the year, even though I'm using the Strength card from Cats Rule the World Tarot. So that's going to be fun, just really getting to know this deck. It's been wanting my attention for quite some time. Beverly at Beverly Butterfly, I believe, or Beverly Butterflies, suggested Chronically Magical. And the only thing I'll say about it is that I started reading it and I did not expect it to make me cry. I was very moved by the fact that there are things in that book that I've been doing all my life that I've been criticized for. And I've never gotten along with the Spoony Witch community very well because I wanted a book that was both realistic and positive. And I agree with Beverly about so many things about this book. So many things. It really touches on some taboo subjects. Sorry, that's my garage door. Of course, right? It's gotta ruin the moment. Always. Anyway, it's just been really enlightening to read because I've realized how many things I don't give myself, how many things I deny myself, how many things that other people have criticized me for that I still use against myself in bad self-talk. And it's validated why I do certain things. And I have a really hard time with being around too much negativity, but I also want to see people express themselves because I think it's time. It's not all a bed of roses. It's not always supportive. Sometimes there's hard decisions that have to be made. And I love how this book honors that sort of gray area of having a chronic illness. There is a balance, and that book really depicts it well. I can't say enough about it. I'm starting to take the book's advice and sort of start over with my life and my lifestyle, and to honor those things that I have learned from being sick, almost brushing up against death quite a few times in my life. But I've also been looking at that book and identifying the things that I need to change in my life, some things that I might be holding on to that no longer apply. I think one of the biggest ones is having some sort of fear of working or running out of energy or not being treated right because I have been told to just work through the pain in the past. Knowing that now I have a voice, but I also have the energy now and I'm healthy. Cooling down now, I want to sit in nature. I want to really work on trusting and feeling supported and nourishing myself emotionally, and especially with all of those difficult things with my health, as I mentioned. There are countless ways that I have shaped myself into something that isn't me, just to feel like a valid human being. A lot of old stuff with my family is already starting to come up this year, so I'm going to see it as a test because I don't want to go back after so much growth. I have forgiven my father for so many things, and now that he's getting better, he's starting to drive us all crazy because he's going back to his old self because he has dementia. I'm hoping that this will pass and this is just a phase, because sometimes people with dementia or Alzheimer's, they keep thinking they're in a different time than they are. And I know that he still sees me as a little girl that needs to be protected, and that means a lot of very controlling tactics, a lot of threats, a lot of things that probably shouldn't be on YouTube, but I'm going to say them anyway because he's a frail old man. I know he can't do anything. He's 80, and I need to step out of that fear. So I've been telling myself a different story, and that's been really hard. It's a really hard habit to embrace. So when I catch myself going back to those old patterns of, oh no, he's doing it again, and getting sucked in, I try to remind myself, no, this is a new story. I already see him facing those things, facing his karma. And I'll be honest, I don't envy him. I do see his struggle, and I do see him growing. He's apologized to me. He's called me beautiful. A lot of things that he would never do before. So I do see that the divine universe, the forces that be, are trying to move him into a better place and thus help me. So my new story that I tell myself is, I come from a loving, supportive family. I know what's best for me and I can make my own decisions. I am supported in making my own decisions. And this is a new start to my life, which means I don't have to rush. I can take my time. I can take the slow boat to China. I can take the drive with the nice view. I will be making longer content and more shorts just to keep the channel going. I will probably take my time about creating videos because I want to make sure I show you quality content. And with all the time that my computer was not plugged in, I have not missed that. So even though I want to update my tech situation, I also want time away from technology. It actually felt really good to not have a second device. So probably a lot more breaks with technology in general. I'm going to have to really be disciplined with myself. I'm going to have to tell myself, get off the computer, get off the phone. You've had enough. You're done. It's really made me get back to those happy feelings, those nostalgic feelings from when I was a kid. As I wrote about in the community tab, I'm really excited about hearing owls again and seeing frogs and all of our animals returning. And I've so been enjoying just listening to the rain and just sitting for hours, just listening to all of the animals. Even if I'm inside, I still want to just sit and be in the quiet without all the technology in my way. I love what Sonia Kimball said about tags. I have thought about this and went back and forth in my mind about it. I want all of you to know that I want to participate. I want to be in the community. I like tags. They're fun. And I like deep talk. But I feel like my mind needs a break. And I need to have more fun in my life. That's part of my goal list, inviting more joy into my life. That's the most important, the top goal of my list. So my goals were in order. I forgot to mention that. I think I will do a couple of tags that really resonate with me, but I find myself almost forcing myself to feel like I'm resonating with tags because I feel like I ought to do a witchcraft practice. I feel like I ought to be participating more in the group. They just take up a lot of my time. So I'm going to be messing around with the live feature and see if I can do something like that again, because I would really like help from somebody, but so far I haven't gotten any bites. So you're going to have to put up with my really bad takes of trying to figure it out. That's your consequence. No, I'm just joking around. But I will be doing that, so if you see a strange video that looks really bad, yeah, that's me testing it. Before I conclude this video, I would like to say thank you to all of you for putting out a lot of really good vibes, a lot of really fun videos while I was taking time to myself and growing and healing. Those videos really lifted me up. And I just want to say thank you. I know for some of you it took a lot of effort to do, and I really appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I think that's it. We did it. Yay! 400th time is the charm, right? I hope all of you have really enjoyed this. I hope you can see how happy I am. I am so happy to say goodbye to the last 2.5 years. You have no idea. The last 2.5 years have just been exhausting in every way possible, and I'm just so grateful it is 2026. I don't even care what happens to me anymore, what happens in my life. I'm just so happy to be happy. So I was going to make this video on the day after New Year's, but that did not happen. So I'm just wishing you all a belated happy 2026. I will see you in the next video.